Can you tell me the story behind the family name The Vendor?
Oh, the vendor. My grandfather was Randall the vendor. My grandfather abandoned the farm at Lakeville in the early part of the 20th century, about I think 1907 or 1909 in that period, because he was a stonemason and he was a construction man and into contracting and that sort of stuff. He wasn't really interested in farming. In his later life, he also was involved in backroom politics.
Okay.
He had friends. I don't know if they ran for office or not. According to Ronnie D, he's one of the few guys who ever served on both town and county council. He was a county councilor when they were on the farm, and he was a town councilor for years and years and years. But I don't know whether he had to be elected or not. I have no idea. Anyway, during the period after World War I, when Prohibition was lifted and liquor was allowed and the governments took control, they had an agent known as the vendor. And my grandfather was the vendor for Antigonish. Okay? The booze came, I know from the tales of my mother, she only talks about rum, or talked about rum and beer. The rum came in big wooden puncheons, and it had to be decanted in bottles for sale. And she and her sisters got to do this after school.
Wow.
And she said the fumes, by the time they had done a hogshead of black rum from Jamaica, whatever, said the fumes would just make you were staggering and banging into things from the fumes of it. But he had total control. The system was you had to have a slip from a doctor, a physician, prescribing the alcoholic beverage for you. And they had rum, and they had beer, they had cider, whatever. And the doc would prescribe this, and then they would show up at the vendor's place. It was on Sydney Street, right near where the fire hall is there now, in there. And it was one of its locations. It might have had others as well. You would show up, hand in your slip. He would take the slip, and he entered the details in a great huge ledger. And those ledgers were in my house in our house, in what we call my grandfather's office, when we were kids. And we would play in school indoors on rainy days or something. We would use those books, and my grandmother would grab them around because all the names are in there and who got how much on what date. And anyway, he did that for a number of years. I don't know how many years. And when they built the liquor store on Main Street, you remember the old liquor store where the pizza place is now?
Yeah.
When they built that, they hired a professional manager to run it instead of having a political appointee.
Okay.
My grandmother never forgave him.
No,
I don't know why. He didn't need it.